Hey guys, this is the Kankazans bringing you the 1000 subscriber question and answers video. Because we got so many questions, let's just get right on into it. So to kick us off here, I'm combining two questions, both asking why the name the Kankazans and the second one asking why the picture is of a rooster. So why the Kankazans? Well, I had the idea for a Star Wars lore series. I thought it would be a good series, thought it would be pretty unique. But I had no idea what to call the YouTube channel name, and I'm absolutely terrible with coming up with names. You would probably realise that if you knew my Xbox gamer tag, for instance. But I had trouble coming up with names, and I wanted it to be quite catchy, sort of roll off the tongue. Not saying the Kankazans does that. So I headed over to Google, typed in unusual English dictionary words, and hey ho, the Kankazans came up in a list from unusual words going from A to Z, and I thought this sounds pretty cool. If you're wondering what it means, I believe it means playing something backwards, so same music, but I'm not 100% sure. But if that is the definition, then that's pretty bizarre as well. But the Kankazans, here we are today with this pretty unusual name, but you now know that I only really picked it because it sounds cool. So there you go. If you were ever wondering about that, then there is your answer. Now this is another interesting question. Why the rooster? Well, if you look at the rooster I've got in my profile picture, I think it just looks so badass. It looks like it's about to just wreak havoc. It looks very serious as well, and I just think it's funny, and I wasn't sure again what profile picture to make, so I had a safe bet and just going for a rooster because I think they're quite fun. I think all animals can be quite funny and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty bizarre the name and the rooster, but you just have to deal with it, I guess. This is a nice little question here relating to my nationality, which you did remember correctly, so nice one for that. Do I like haggis? And being quite stereotypical, I know I do. I love haggis, even though the thought of it is quite disgusting. It's made from the insides of a sheep. It's not the most pleasant of thoughts, but I do like it. I think it's quite nice. Next up, where do I get all the lore knowledge? Well, I've already got quite a bit of information already stored in my brain simply from watching the films, playing the games, reading some books, comics, etc. So when it comes to writing the script, I will simply just input any knowledge I already have into the script, and I use Wikipedia as a sort of template because that goes from their early life all the way to their death. But because, as you'll probably know, anything to do with Wikipedia isn't the most reliable, I do have my sources I will turn to for any information I'm unsure of or that I simply don't know. And I'm sure there's a famous quote out there that says, don't disclose all your sources. So just like a magician not telling the fans how to do a trick, I'm not going to give away all my sources here. How old am I? Well, next month I'll be turning 18. Now that might have shocked a few people. Maybe people thought I was older. Maybe people would have thought I was younger. I don't know. But I get the sense that people might be a little bit shocked by that because I'm quite young in this whole YouTube community. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't know what I'm talking about or anything like that. And if you think that, then that is age discrimination, and that's bad. Linking to the last question, and this is a really good question actually, will I ever do YouTube full time if I get big enough? Now I say linking to the last question because coming up for 18, I am at college right now, so if I ever get the chance to do YouTube full time, I'll probably have to bail out of college, and I'm not sure how well that will go down with the family. But I think that doing YouTube full time, it would be a good thing to do because I enjoy YouTube. But I'm not sure actually how much you get paid. If the price is right, I would definitely contemplate it. But for right now, it's just a hobby, it's just something I like to do. As I said in the last commentary, I never came on here to make money, and that's why I don't know how much money YouTubers make, to be honest. But if it's decent enough money, if I'm getting sick of this college course I'm on, I'll just be like, screw you guys, I'm going home, I'm going full time on YouTube. But it's a nice thought of someone saying if I get big enough, because that's definitely positive thinking. Hopefully, you know, the subscribers keep going up and stuff like that. So I wouldn't rule out going full time, but it depends if jacking the college or if I get a job or anything, if it's worthwhile in the long run. But it's something that I'd be open to in the future at least. Will you do a video on me, him being Anakin Skywalker of course? And the answer to that is yes, you're on the list. Now this is a question that I did want to address with everyone that suggests someone for me to include in a Star Wars lore video. I do have a ginormous list. When I reference the list, I mean this list is like Santa's naughty and nice list. This is huge. And for instance, the Darth Nihilus video that went out on Friday, the first time he was suggested was probably over 10 episodes ago. The backlog of suggestions is absolutely crazy. So when someone suggests someone, it's probably going to be quite a while before they're actually included in a video, unless a wild card is chosen and then I select them of course. So if you suggest someone, don't be disheartened when they're not in for, you know, a good 10 weeks or something, because that is just sort of standard at this point. So Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker, however you like to be called, sir, you're on the list and you'll be getting a video done on you. I was going to say soon, but it'll probably be about 10 weeks to be honest. A few people asked this next question: what is my favourite prequel, or as one of them worded, the least worst? And I would have to say it's Revenge of the Sith for me, because episode 1, that was just dull, it was just politics. If I wanted to watch politics, I would just watch the news channel. Episode 2, it was slightly better, but again, it was just pretty boring, if I'm being honest. Whereas episode 3, I was interested to see Anakin turn to Darth Vader, the fall of the Republic. Everything was just slotted together quite nicely, and there's quite a few brilliant Jedi fights as well. So I would have to say that is the best out of the worst. This video is nearing an end, but if your question wasn't answered, then stay tuned, because after this gameplay I'll be answering all the questions that I haven't already answered in a few slides. So stay tuned for that. Once again, thanks for helping this channel reach 1,000 subscribers. It really does mean a lot. And stay tuned for the lore video on Friday. So until then, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.